Good morning. How is everybody? I don't know if you recall. Do you remember this place right here? This one? Yep, that one. So we aren't there. We are doing this from home. This will be different. This will be something to get used to. So, welcome to day one of extended e-learning. We're going to see how we do, guys. So, we'll kind of hang in there together. As always, email me with any questions you have. And also my Google number, 765-560-3041. This is all in Google Classroom, but I just, if you're jotting it down, you already have a question, text me and I will get back to you right away. All right, guys, get started. First thing we're going to do is we need to work on this research paper. So I went over this with you on Friday. We're going to break it down piece by piece. So today we are only going to focus on the introduction, okay? So we're going to start right here, our research paper outline. The header is the first thing that we talked about. Very simple, something we're going to make sure that we always do. Just your name, your teacher's name, ELA and class period, and the due date. Now, if we were in class, I would ask you to tell me what the new due date is. Okay, I extended it. It's April 6th at the moment. Gives you plenty of time to work on this. We will go ahead and just play it by ear, essentially. So we've got plenty of time. The key is just making sure you understand what you're doing with this, okay? So since we're going to focus on the introduction, we're going to start with the hook. As always, just anything we do, we're going to always want to hook that reader. All right, and so in order to do that, we're going to look at the same ways we would for anything. Okay, we're going to hook our reader by asking a question, using a picture of this, or state a surprising fact. And since you're doing research, you're probably going to have quite a few surprising facts. But you can also, like I said, just ask a simple question. Sometimes just getting started is half the battle, right? So the next thing then that we're going to work on would be the background and the questions that we're going to answer. So the background is just simply telling us about your topic. That's it. What is your research topic? What's it going to be about? The questions you should already have taken care of. If you recall, the source sheets that we were putting together, you had a top sheet and then you had 3 source sheets for each of your sources. That's where you record, the link that you found or the information you're using and what you found there. So that first page, you had to decide what questions you're going to answer in your research. Everything about research goes by the questions that you want to answer. That is the point of research. Okay, so this is where you're going to discuss those questions, and you'll find them, like I said, on that front page. The next thing we're going to do then is we're going to talk about the claim, and it's very simple. When we're talking about research, your claim, I literally gave you a sentence frame because since this is your first research paper, we're going to make it even easier. But you are just stating the purpose of your research, what you're researching, and what your purpose is. Okay, so that sentence down there that says the purpose of this research about blank is to blank, that's perfect. That's totally fine. You can use that. We are going to remember something, hopefully, that your claim is always the last sentence in your introduction. Okay, so whether it's a research paper, argumentative essay, doesn't matter, you're going to put your claim there. The claim's just going to look a little different sometimes depending on what type of writing we're doing, okay? All right, so let's start writing it together. Let's take a look. So on this next slide, and yes, that is him right there. That's who we're talking about. So some of you may have this topic, but I tried to pick something that few actually had. So we're going to start taking a look at this. We have all of our items here. Okay, so first things first, we have our hook. What might death look like if it were an occupation? So I want to make sure I give credit where credit is due because this actually came from Donovan. We were kind of doing a similar type exercise in 3rd period on Friday, and Donovan came up with this great hook. So Donovan, credit to you. So this is something that we thought would be kind of a clever, or he thought would be kind of a clever way to introduce the topic. What might death look like if it were an occupation? Perfect. And so since we're talking about Dr. Mengele, or Joseph Mengele, That is what we're going to lead right into. Okay, so the next part here where we talk about, and actually I'm going to do this. The next part, let's do, I guess we need to stick with green. All right, right here. One could look no further than Dr. Death, or the Angel of Death as he was known, at Auschwitz during World War II. Auschwitz is the most notorious of the extermination camps created by Hitler's Nazis. Joseph Mengele is known for conducting the famous twin experiments at Auschwitz. There are several questions I am seeking to answer in my research. Okay, so this right here, everything from, let's go back and make sure we use the one, all of this, okay, all of this is background information that we are putting in there, okay? You're not telling too much, you just, discussed some of his titles and where, this took place. You're giving them just kind of a broad overview of things. But then the next part is when you go through and you start talking about the questions that you're seeking to answer, okay? Now, notice several things going on here. You just sort of kind of think through it with your reader, okay? So let's go back, and it says, there are several questions I am seeking to answer in my research. First, I would like to know why the Nazis conducted these horrendous experiments in the first place. What was their purpose? Also, I wonder what types of experiments were performed. Finally, I want to know what happened to the people who were experimented upon. How many survived? Okay, so they've just done a nice job of just weaving in those questions. Notice, of course, that they use transition words. So right here, so since we've been talking about commas lately, notice that all of these have commas, right? Even right here, as we're getting ready to begin our claim statement, you always start with whatever that transition word is and a comma right after it. So then getting into our claim right here, I guess we'll go with this color. We like yellow for claims. This is that same sentence, that sentence frame that I gave you earlier. The purpose of this research, blank on blank, is to blank. So for us, we just kept it very simple. The purpose of this research on Dr. Death and the twin experiments is to understand what happened and why. Boom. Done. There's your introduction. Okay? Now, I know we've color-coded a lot in class, and if that helps you, by all means do that. But you can keep referring back to this too, just as an example. Okay? And so we also, since we were talking about commas, I want to throw in something in there. There is something right here. Let me get rid of some of this here. Let's clean all that up. There we go. As much as we like our color coding, we gotta get rid of it for just a moment. All right, so if you take a look, this right here, let's do red this time. We've got a comma, and then we've got a comma down here. Okay, this extra information that we put in there about Joseph Mengele, we have a specific name for that. Okay, that is called an appositive. I want to do this. Yeah, my writing is not going to be outstanding. Forgive me, because you know how it is. Let's do, we'll try this one. Okay, actually, you know what? We'll just text. Mrs. Sipes does not trust herself to write very well. All right, there we go. We call that an appositive. Okay, appositives are when you basically give that extra piece of information. So when I go through and talk about the other names that he's called by, also known as Dr. Death or the Angel of Death, comma right here, comma right here, that extra information that's separated from the rest of the sentence is what's known as the appositive. Okay, so we've got two different things going on with commas. We have these introductory words, or what we call transitions, that we are using commas for. And then we have what's called an appositive right here, where we are using these commas, again, to set off extra information that we're talking about when we talked about Dr. Mengele. Okay? All right, so this is what we're looking for tomorrow. Go ahead and write your introduction in docs. I know several of you may already have this, so given what we just went through today, go back over it, look at it, see if you can tell exactly where your hook is, your background, your questions, and then your claim. Make sure you share it with me if you haven't already. So then what I'm going to do for the rest of this day is I'm going to go through your Google Docs and make some notes and comments in there, just like we do for any of the essays. So go in there and you can resolve any issues that are in there and look back to see any ideas for improving your writing. Okay, so we'll do this piece by piece each day. So introduction today, work on body paragraphs tomorrow, and I'll do the same thing. I'll go through each part, and with 100 students, 105, it's going to take a little while, but we'll get there. I will make notations on everybody's document, go in there and see what I had to say, make some corrections. I do want you to read chapter 9 in the Boy in Striped Pajamas, because then tomorrow we're also going to discuss that and go over the reading. Next week, when we're done with the research, we'll do some things with literature and so forth, but this week I just want to finish out the research and keep reading the book with you, and we will discuss it tomorrow. So listen, again, please let me know if you have any questions at all. Again, my Google number is 765-560-3041. Reach out to me by email, and I will be happy to hear your sweet voices if that's the case. All right. Bye, guys. Have a great day. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.